Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning. Happy Friday to you. Welcome to Up with KREM and streaming on KREM 2 Plus. I'm Tim Pham. We're starting off with a look at your weather forecast with meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Good morning, Thomas. It is a good day, Friday, and we're here for a beautiful weekend, too.
Yeah, hoopla is just a good word, too. I mean, that's a Friday word if I ever heard one. And our weather conditions going to be great all weekend long. It is getting towards late July. We expect things to be pretty hot outside, but we're kind of right in the sweet spot where it's comfortable to enjoy lots of outdoor activities like hitting the lake and the water without it feeling like it's absolutely scorching hot outside. Even right now, mild conditions at 63 degrees for our low currently in Spokane. And I got 66 in Liberty Lake and 65 in Coeur d'Alene currently. Should be up into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon, which is average for July. And we'll stay comfy this weekend, but it certainly gets a lot hotter next week. So the very end of July looks like it could be some of our hottest days overall.
Here's a live look at the traffic impact from I-90 and Division. You can see traffic in downtown Spokane moving great in both directions. We're not seeing any slowdowns or major trouble spots on this Friday morning. We'll keep a close eye on it, though, let you know if there's anything slowing you down. On Up with KREM, we bring you weather and traffic together every 30 minutes. We do want to let you know about this traffic alert tonight. Washington State Department of Transportation crews will be closing a part of the North Spokane corridor. At 7 p.m., crews will shut down SR 395 between the Wellesley and Freya interchanges. WashDOT says crews will install a new signboard over the road. You can use North Freya Street or North Market Street as a detour. The road should reopen at 6 a.m. on Sunday. New details now. Bryan Kohberger spent his first full day in prison as a convicted murderer. He will now spend the remainder of his life in a prison south of Boise. In court, he offered no remorse, motive, or explanation. In a press conference after the sentencing, police and prosecutors confirmed they never found a social media connection between Coberger and the victims or their two surviving roommates. They did confirm the knife sheath left at the scene provided the crucial evidence they were looking for, but they exhausted all resources looking for that knife. Shortly after Kohberger received his sentence and the courtroom emptied, law enforcement who worked on the case began making some details public for the very first time. And more revelations are expected as documents are unsealed. Another document has an interesting look at Kohberger's life behind bars, which Chris Ingalls with our sister station in Seattle has looked into.
Now that the Kohberger criminal case is over and the gag order lifted, authorities are releasing documents. One is an interesting look at Kohberger's life behind bars, with one inmate calling him a weirdo, another calling him annoying. Police interviewed the inmate at the Latah County Jail in the cell next to Kohberger's. He called him intelligent and polite for the most part, but Kohberger quickly became annoying because of some of his habits. He would wash his hands dozens of times a day and would spend 45 minutes to an hour in the shower. Kohberger would be awake almost all night and nap during the day. Detectives asked the inmate if Kohberger ever lost his temper. The inmate was watching sports one time and said, "You suck," to one of the players on the team. Kohberger immediately got up and put his face to the bars and aggressively asked if the inmate was talking about him or his mother. Did the murder suspect ever mention anything about the crimes, detectives asked? The man said Kohberger did not mention his alleged offenses at all. A second batch of documents was released later in the day. They described the savage nature of some of Kohberger's crimes, including one victim who was stabbed in the face several times. This is the beginning of what we expect to be thousands of pages of documents released by authorities in Idaho. I'm Chris Ingalls in the King 5 newsroom.
Coming up in our next half hour, an interview with the Latah County prosecutor, why he believes it was the right decision to end the case. For more on the sentencing, text the word Moscow to 509-448-2000. We'll send all the information to your phone. We will continue monitoring all the developments even now that the case has wrapped up. You can watch the biggest moments from Wednesday's hearing on KREM 2 Plus. That's available to download for free on your TV. It has been nearly 1 week since the Lake Spokane fire started. This morning, we know it has burned more than 2,400 acres and is 16% contained. There are nearly 400 crews working to contain the human-caused fire from the ground and the air. Level 2 and 3 evacuations are still in effect for the area. Although some residents are grateful they are safely evacuated, they are anxious to go home.
I don't know how much of our property actually got scorched. I keep hearing we might be one of the lucky ones. We don't know until we get out there when it's all said and done.
Forecasted high winds and drier conditions are keeping those level 2 and 3 evacuations in place for now. Good news, crews have lined the fire and are in the process of directing it towards State Route 291. This makes it easier for crews as they are closer to level ground. In northern Stevens County, the Hope Fire has burned more than 7,800 acres near Northport. It destroyed 2 homes and about 20 other buildings like barns and cabins. The fire is now 75% contained. Crews still have level 1 and 2 evacuations in place in the area. Still no word on how that fire started. An update this morning on the firefighter hurt during last month's ambush on Canfield Mountain in Coeur d'Alene. The city's fire department posting on Facebook, Dave Tisdall was scheduled for a 4th surgery yesterday. He's at a Colorado specialty rehabilitation hospital. The post says he's finding strength and in the love and support he continues to receive. A local lumberjill is representing Spokane in the upcoming Timber Sports Championship. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones got the chance to speak with the highly decorated athlete ahead of her competing this weekend.
I'm lucky that my building owner let me build this deck out here.
When life gets busy, you just got to carve out the time.
I spend probably more time down here than I do at home.
Putting in work whenever and wherever you can, even if that means reps in between reps. Erin Lavoie is the proud owner of Predation CrossFit. She also happens to be elite at swinging an axe.
Life is short, and people say that, and they sometimes don't do anything about it. I like to believe that I have been living the best life I could my entire bit of it.
So, how does one become a lumberjill? For Erin, it all started as a forestry student at Spokane Community College. It was there she would stumble across something that would ultimately shape her future.
A wood chopping team that trained just down the hall from all of my classes, so I wandered in one day, and I'm kind of a self-inviter. What are you guys doing? Can I come play?
Now she travels across the country, competing in a sport at the highest level, swinging with precision and learning life lessons along the way.
Another side hustle. You're gonna have like 5 of them nowadays.
It's a life that keeps her schedule booked. But when you resemble a modern-day warrior, you make the difficult look easy.
It's the journey. I love the training. I love pushing so hard, and I love being that person on top. I'm always just on to the next thing. I want to train harder, do better, go further.
From Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
If you want to watch Erin compete in the Timber Sport events, you can stream for free online. We have that link for you on your screen.
Time is 6:09. Let's take another look at our weather forecast. Today is a slightly breezier day outside, much as it was yesterday, because we're kind of parked in between 2 pressure areas, a low pressure, high pressure, and when you're in the middle, that's when we tend to get some of the strongest winds. We're not quite in the sweet spot for the strongest winds overall. That's mostly over British Columbia and Alberta, but that storm system just close enough that we'll feel a bit of that breeze today. Nothing significant though, and in fact, it just turns out to be another average July day for us with high temperatures in the upper 80s.